Good evening, lamb chops. It is I, your favorite fluffy vampire, Bluma. Hi. How we doing tonight? I hope good. Yee. Hold on. I'm kind of scooched far over. Hold on. Let me just... There we go. Oh, hi. Oh, hi. Doing well? Good, good. Good, good. It was a long day for me, bro. My first day at the new position. I'm glad I'm home. I'm glad we're gonna sit down and enjoy book club together. Doing good? Good, good, good. How was it? Oh my god. It's a lot. Because it's definitely more of a management position. So, like, it's a lot. Happy for me, thank you. Promotion? Yeah, promotion. In more of a management position at the bank. Yeah. Feel proud. I'm trying to feel proud. Oh, it's just a lot. Hopefully it gets easier. Because, like, I'll be real, when I got home, I almost fell asleep. Like, it was that tiring. I was like, nah, I gotta stay awake. It's book club tonight. Duh. So hopefully it gets easier as we go. Proud of me? Thank you. Aw, we Sue. Book club! Yeah, book club. Hell yeah. Alright. Oh yeah, what happened last time? Rika kind of gave us a warning and then acted like she didn't know what the fuck we were on about. Hopefully it does get easier. Thank you, thank you. Hi, Muffin. Hi. Keep it up, Booma. Thank you. I'll do my best. So yeah, Rika gave us a creepy, crazy warning. And... And... we were like, damn, that's sus. But okay. Wasn't that the last one? That's okay. We got a lot of emotional, very like, aw, she's so cute. Aw, she's such a good kid. Surely nothing will go wrong. Emotional damage. Yeah, that's what we're thinking it's setting up for. The phone suddenly rang. I woke up in a hurry. The clock read 9 p.m. Damn it. I slept past the time I was supposed to report in. I picked up the receiver. Akasaka-sama, you have a call from the outside line. Shall I connect you? It's from a coworker named Kanoru-sama. I knew it. I didn't call in, so they had to phone me. Sorry, please put them through. Understood. I'll connect you, so please hang up the receiver for the time being. After I put down the receiver for a few seconds, the phone began to ring again. Yes, hello? This is Akasaka? Akasaka-kun? This is Kamu. Good work out there. You didn't call in for your regular report, so we called instead. What's your situation? Leaving the lecture for later, my senior coworker got straight to the point. Today I went to the village proper. Under the guise of a tourist, I managed to establish contact with the mayor and several other core members of the Defense Alliance. You fucking wish. I wasn't able to ask them anything, but I left a good impression that I was able to make a bridge for my investigation from tomorrow onwards. I see. It looks like things are going smoothly. Akasaka-kun, you seem rather naive sometimes, but that might have worked out in your favor. I guess you made some good progress for now? I don't have the experience to make a comparison, so I don't know if this is good or not. I think things went well for today, though. Did you find out anything from the prefectural or local offices? Does it look as though the Onikakushi Defense Alliance is unrelated to this incident? I still didn't know. I should have been able to say that immediately. I only had to say that, but for some reason, I hesitated. I'm still investigating, so I don't know what to say yet. I see. Could you let us know as soon as possible? I think you understand, but after tonight, I'll have been full 4 days since the kidnapping happened. They didn't set a time limit, but it's obvious that time is not on our side. I think you know that. Yeah, I know. I'll investigate a little quicker while still being careful about it. Okay. Be sure to look after yourself. You're dealing with a violent organization here. It might be dangerous to let your guard down. If you feel that you're in danger, contact me immediately. In that case, I can get the local public safety office prepared to help you. Thank you. I'll do my best. Anything else to report? I reported several bits of supplementary information, and at the very end I decided to ask, how's the investigation going on your end? Everybody's doing their best here, but we're not making much progress. After all, the number of organizations we're investigating is vast. So, if you find out one you're investigating is in the clear, you'll have to return to Tokyo to assist some of the other officers. The chief is saying to dig up what you can in the onikakushi, but I don't think a residential anti-dam protest group has any relation to the incident at hand. Sending somebody out just to investigate a single group makes me cringe, really. By dangerous organization, does he mean the Yakuza? Yeah, the Yakuza's basically running the show right now. At this point, he was just complaining. He was telling me to stop taking time enjoying my trip, to finish up and get back quick. I'll try to resolve this as soon as I can. Thanks. I'm counting on you. Well then, if there's nothing else, I'm hanging up. Okay. That's all I have. As we were ending our phone call, he scolded me thoroughly for being late to our regular report. After that, I hung up the phone and sprawled out on the bed. Come to think of it, I hadn't heard anything from Oishi. He was supposed to contact me about a time and place to meet up with that informant tonight. I thought about getting angry with Oishi in retaliation for being scolded for forgetting my daily report. And come to think of it, though, Oishi didn't really say anything other than he was going to call tonight. Are we running a show? Can I volunteer? What? Reason. Waiting for a phone call when you didn't know what time was going to come in itself was rather difficult. Gotta hate when you have to cut a work short for work. We're at work. Damn it, we're at work. Just when I thought that, the phone rang. I picked up the receiver in a hurry. Hello? Well, this is a surprise. Akasaka-san, you're pretty quick to answer the phone. Are you a regular user of dating chat lines or something? Ooh, what the fuck? I would never even try something seedy like that. Sorry, this is kind of jazzy. True, for real. Hey, yo, right? What the fuck? The way you ever act is rather interesting. Want to go to a place where you can have a little bit of lewd fun? No. I'll pass. So could you please get to the point, Oishi-san? Really? Too bad. We'll have that save that for next time then. Well, I'll get to the point. Bro trying to riz? This kind of sounds like it. I wasn't sure if this was Oishi or not. He came on strong, bro. Many of the executives in the onikakushi defense lines had a lot of sway in the neighboring regions. Even in Okinomiya, there were a lot of people with relations in the village. That's why meeting with the Shishibone Market District, far from Okinomiya, was a matter of course. Bow wow, right? Akasaka-san, over here. Did you get a little lost? Coming from the north entrance might have been a bit of a detour, but it was easier to give directions from there. No, I'm sorry for being late. Did you eat dinner already? Yeah, I already did. Well then, shall we go to a place where you can get a drink? Do you prefer Western alcohol? Or maybe sake? Would you prefer a place with or without women? Don't worry about it. I don't drink while I'm on the job. Hearing that, the man that Oshi had brought along bent backwards after he goughed, clapping Oshi on the shoulder. See, isn't he just adorable? In exchange, can you give him a bit extra? That money all came from this guy's wallet, you know. The man that Oshi had brought seemed almost like a ticket scalper and a bookie. Even his appearance was dubious. The informant grinned deviously. Hey boy, how much did you give this guy? It looks like there's quite a bit of skimmed off the top, you know. Oshi's handling fee was included as I took that into account. It seemed that the informant had expected a more extravagant reaction on my part. When I responded matter-of-factly, he realized that I was entirely a different type of person than he was. But rather than putting a distance between us, it seemed that I had piqued his interest. I said it, didn't I? He's the serious type. But do you see, Akasaka-san? People in the line of work like ours can really use their wealth of experience to their advantage. I'm wondering exactly how the experience of my drinking in a bar with women would work to my advantage. The informant, unable to contain himself, clutched at his stomach as he goughed, heedlessly of the people watching. I just got a message from my company. A congrats video with 100 days without an accident. Good job. Oh my god. Good job, Rusu. Didn't hurt anybody for 100 days. Good job. Hi, Antimatter. Oh, Lottie. Akasaka-san. You really can judge people. That's what an education does for you. Oshi-san? You've been drinking somewhere, haven't you? Are you drunk? Ah, what's wrong with drinking when I'm off duty? Even if you're working, I'm not. Oshi, who was the sort to fool around to begin with, was such a good mood, I couldn't figure out a way to deal with him. Trying to do my best, thank you. Completely different from me, who had come worried about getting every bit of information I could. Oshi-san, after taking so much money, you were supposed to get me information worth at least that much. I thought this, but then I realized I was getting my information from the informant, so it didn't matter how drunk Oshi was. It was nothing I could complain about, but I still felt slightly riled up. Oshi and the informant. It was no doubt a fake name, but he introduced himself as Sato, led to the way deeper and deeper into the back streets of the market district. I just got here and I already heard things like drinking on duty and oh Lottie, good street. Yeah. Even though the market was bustling, a couple of turns off the main street and you were in the desolate alleyway. She started climbing a set of stairs to the side of the seedy building. There wasn't any sort of signage, so I couldn't tell if this place was open or if it was even a store at all. Aw, don't worry. This isn't the Zubia's place. Those words coming from Oshi's mouth had absolutely no credibility. Beyond the door was a thankfully and typically mahjong parlor. Hey, we know how to play mahjong. Eh? I was relieved that I wasn't the sort of suspicious place that I'd been on my guard about. Welcome, welcome. Oh, Oshi-san, it's been a while. Want to join in? There'll be a free spot soon. No, I'm here with a group today. That's fine. Oh, sorry to keep you waiting. Mahjong is a game played with 4 people. It seems that a middle-aged man who is going to be our 4th had already arrived and was waiting for us. You're late, Kurado. I was just thinking of going home. Oshi made an excuse for why we had taken so long. Eventually realizing that I was the new face, the other men grew interested. Mahjong mentioned, yeah. Mahjong stream, prep for us at the part, pretty ladies. Yeah! Let's go Mahjong. Where's them sexy anime ladies? That's Akasaka-san. He's a rookie who came all the way from Tokyo on an assignment. They have high hopes for him. Boy, can you play Mahjong? Well, I played a bit when I was a student. Sato and the old man cackled in unison. Their plot to sucker me out of my money was painfully obvious. No sexy ladies? 0 out of 10. Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. It's rough without the anime girls, I know. I thought you'd be a bit tired from your assignment, living on the edge all the time, so I thought it'd give you a night of cleanse your spirit. I know asking this now might be stupid, but we're betting money on this, aren't we? Well, you see, just a little. It's just a little for the funsies. It doesn't matter who loses because after this, we're using that money to go play at a very nice place. Go and play? And what kind of place would we be doing that? Without reservation, the 3 of them started suggesting places like cabarets, high-class clubs, even brothels. At the very least, they were the type of places that you couldn't go with money that was just for funsies. Oshi-san took all my money the other day, and I might also have to work to do, so I can't stay long. Then all you have to do is win. If you win, then you can use that money to pay for the table, and you can talk to Kurado about work or whatever. No matter what happened, it seemed they were intent on playing Mahjong for free. I would have to fasten my resolve a bit. Just for funsies. Yeah, like how I lost 3k in Genshin just for funsies. Too real, Rusu. Too real. I understand. Then I'll play with you guys for just a bit. If I win, you guys don't get any of the money, or get to go any of these dirty places, and we talk about work right away. Ah ha ha ha! Yeah. Bring it on! Woohoo! If I win, we're heading straight for the Blue Mermaid on Flower Road. Oh, that place where the girls dress up in gym clothes and maid uniforms? This old lech here likes that place too. What the fuck? Bro, this guy stinks. Yeah. Of course, we're gonna hop between all the places where they keep the girls coming. Maid mentioned. Oh, never mind. Wahaha! A man of culture. Yeah, one of these guys is the informant, maybe. But Akasaka-san's like, can we not? What about you, Sato-san? I'd prefer a place where we can drink quietly. I like a nice quiet place where you can play footsies with the bunny girl. The last time we went drinking, you pulled a tail right off that bunny girl, didn't you? Didn't you end up having to pay for that? The owner ended up charging what we called a tailoring fee. What a lively table this was. I could tell the other customers were glaring at us while we loudly continued our crude conversation. Man, they ready to party, they are. Like party. Oh, she had taken all the money I'd brought, so everything I had left was in my own pocket. In addition, there wasn't that much left of it either. If I kept on hanging around him like this, through his goading, my wallet would disappear into the night. I had to somehow win and return the conversation to the job. But these people, no matter how you looked at it, were pretty good. Sorry. Yuki. Nah. Well then, I'll just call Richie here. Well, the old man and Sato-san probably won't fall for this silly Richie. I wonder if Akasaka-kun will split out what I need. At any rate, Kurado's hand is probably holding something like that, huh? In that case, this one's ought to go here. Oh-ho! The old man's pretty good. He's quietly trying to use one of his safe tiles to complete his hand, isn't he? It seems that Akasaka-kun has at least learned the ropes when it comes to guarding against someone's Richi. But that will be his downfall. What's wrong, boy? Would you hurry up and discard? If you're not sure, anything the Kurado's already thrown away should be safe, no? Oh, Akasaka-kun's getting fretting over this one. It was glaringly obvious that he had a safe tile to discard, but he didn't want to throw it away because it would move him further from completing his hand. They're so nice when they're young and innocent. Come on, hurry up and throw down your kicker. If he gave me the winning tile, we'd be heading to an establishment where I could do all sorts of licking and sucking. What is going on? If he gives the old man his winning tile, we'd be heading straight to the place with maids and bloomers. Will this go through right? He looked up and hesitantly threw out a tile that was, oh, too bad. Hey now, that's a dangerous tile, you know. Kurado, does that go through? Yeah, it will. It seems this time you were lucky, but as long as the round kept going, I could still win off the draw. Hey yo, what the fuck? But after that, Akasaka-kun managed to luckily avoid throwing away any bad tiles, and somehow the round managed to end without anybody completing a hand. Luma, we're playing Mahjong, right? Right? Naughty's naughty. No, right? That's what I learned. Like in that game where it's like, this is a beginner-friendly game to learn Mahjong. Remember how horny it was? Okay? That's obviously how you play Mahjong. You're horny. Like, that's how you play Mahjong. That's all we learned. That's all we learned from that Mahjong game. That's it. Big ditties and beaches. Tenpai, no 10. Sato-san had keenly anticipated the two players were in Richi and had decided to play it safe. Yeah. What a cool-headed way of playing. Now let's see, what kind of hand did Akasaka-kun have? When the round ends with nobody winning in Mahjong, anybody in Tenpai has to show their hand. But if you're not in Tenpai, you have no obligation to reveal it. Your average beginner would normally show their hand even if they weren't in Tenpai and start a commotion about how if this tile or that tile came, they would be in Tenpai. But he didn't. Being stingy. How'd you do, boy? Come on, show me. Sato-san reached over to flip the hand that Akasaka-kun had casually placed face down. What the hell is this? He was nowhere near Tenpai. Was Akasaka-kun totally bad at this after all? Right then. As the old man compared the tiles from Akasaka-san's hand to the discard pool, a puzzled expression crossed his face. Boy, you were in Tenpai right around here, weren't you? Why'd you break your hand? The higher Manzu tiles suddenly got more valuable, so he suppressed them. Even though with Oshi-san's Rishi, the chance that they were safe tiles had increased. It would have been in no trouble if he had read the discards, but he went out of his way to keep them out of play. Oh? So Kurado Tenpai was no good from the start, in other words. If it wasn't such a high-level trap, I would have to thrown out you were waiting for me to throw out the winning tile. But the more concerning thing is that you were in Tenpai and didn't say a thing. When did you realize that he was in Tenpai? Around here? You threw out 4 tiles in a row, immediately. At first I thought you were just discarding redundant tiles, but I noticed you glancing over at me and realized you were waiting for something. You massive mommy, yeah. We learned everything about how to play Mahjong. It's true. You can't keep running from these yabai allegations. Watch me. Can't catch me. You and Risu both. Strip Mahjong probably is a thing, though. Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's true. Akasaka-kun. You. Akasaka-san. When did you first start playing Mahjong? I never did, except in high school and university. Now let's continue. Since Sato-san wasn't in Tenpai, and the round ended without a winner, then I'm next, right? The next dealer. It seems like Akasaka-san is really aware of how this game flows. We thought we were just gonna eat him alive, but it looks like this isn't gonna be so easy. Oshi-san, looks like you're going for the bamboo tiles. Should I put some in play? This boy. Kurado, don't back down. As long as I get 3 more good tiles. Sato-san, think you can do it? Damn it. I'll just force you to go for the cheap Tanyo. Cheap. A straight. Well, sorry. I'm gonna pawn that tile. Whoa now, gonna call 3 of a kind after declaring a straight? Trying to override and interfere? Boy, you're getting pretty used to this. Oh no. I couldn't even compare to you guys, who have been playing since before I was even born. That's game. Ron. Triplets, 2 red Dora and 3 more Dora. I'm the dealer, so this'll cost you quite a bit. Gah! Hakasaka-san, nice job. Now we'll have to go get serious, won't we? Well, can you get serious about handling over your points? I'm tired, so let's end this quickly. Akasaka-kun? This is somehow unreal. My phone kept going off. I could see it in the corner of my eye. I was like, who the fuck's texting me? I'm straight. Hold on. Risu, no. Before I could realize it, there was an ominous cold air emitting from beneath Akasaka-san's feet. How blasé. The 2, 5, and 8 Manzus are laughing at you. Damn it. Boy, you. Kurado, finish it. You have to end the boy's turn as a dealer. I hate to admit it, but that seems like the best option. There it is. Ron. Simple straights, 1 Dora. Sorry. Head bump. Ron. Straight. A head bump? You damn brat. Brat? So you'd play that sloppy against a brat? Guess that means you're worse than a brat yourself. This is so interesting. The way you guys call people like things like brat or boy. Akasaka-kun? That is you, isn't it? It feels like you're a totally different person. You thought that I, being a sucker, would let you drink some good booze tonight. Seems that you were a little bit off mark. Ron. Triple straight, red Dora, and another Dora. Whoa! He actually did it! That's why I'm saying you guys are slacking. No matter how you look at it, you have to be able to read such an obvious 3-way weight. Akasaka-kun chuckled as he rested his chin on his hands. That pose was so fitting, it was almost scary. This is getting rather intense, right? I don't understand a single thing. Maybe we need another Mahjong straight. You know what? True. This is true. We could brush up on some Mahjong. For research? Oh, of course. Of course, of course, of course. Little did they know, he won the horny Mahjong. Hey, Kurado. This isn't what we discussed. Who the hell said that's naive sucker right for the picking? What could it be? Oshi-san, this is bad. If he keeps going like this, we're seriously gonna lose. Akasaka-kun, for you to make me get serious. Looks like you really want to be milked dry. Pawn. Pawn. That sounds nice. One more time. Pawn. Akasaka-kun was almost singing at this point. The tiles he had open were all in pin tiles. You can't be serious. Are you really gonna go for the flush? Pawn. Boy, are you in the right mind? You've opened 4 sets. You only have 1 tile left, you know? That's right. Did you know? Waiting on a single tile is the hardest thing to read. Are you an idiot? With that much of your hand revealed, you don't think we'd give you a tile you need, do you? I know what you're doing, Akasaka-san. That's not a flush or a half flush, is it? The fact that you called pawn 4 times means you're already in position for an all-triplet hand. Right now, you're far and away in the head lead. You're trying to show a flush to goad us into giving you triplets, aren't you? If that's what you think. Wanna try throwing out some pins? The left 5 tiles in your hand, Oshi-san. They're pin tiles, and you're elected to throw them away, aren't you? Why don't you try discarding them from the other left? You must be joking. Is he a Mahjong god? If not, he had to be the main character of a manga or something. At that moment, the old man sent me a sign under the table. The message was simple and clear. Kurado, do it. Crush him. I don't like to cheat against kids like this. Idiot. After being disrespected like this, we can't pull back now. Well, I'm not responsible for what happens, you know. Go ahead. Huge badonkers research. Humongous research. Badonker research. Guys just want to play Mahjong. Guys just want one thing and it's sick. Mahjong. Here we go, boy. Richie. We'll go open. I'm waiting for a 1, 4, or 7 of pins. Most likely the tile Akasaka-san was waiting for was one of those tiles. With this, Akasaka-kun was no longer capable of winning the hand. When I drew from the wall, I switched out the tile that Akasaka-kun could draw. The tile that I put in there was a 1 pin. One of the tiles that the old man was waiting on. Akasaka-kun discarded a little while ago, so there was no threat of it being in the one he needed. Come on, it's your turn, boy. I knew he was troubled with the way tile he drew was a 1 pin. Of course, he couldn't discard it. Boy, you must be aware, but if you discard it into the open Richi, it's worth the limit, you know. You don't have to tell me that. The tile that came to Akasaka-kun's hand was an honor tile. Whew, ain't that something? There's only 1 north wind tile left, isn't there? You were counting on really rough weight, weren't you? But with this, Akasaka-kun's fate was decided. Brat, you're lucky you're safe. But your hand only has a single tile. You think you'll be able to run away with the rest of the round? Huh? Huh? So it was gonna be like that. Akasaka-kun glared at the old man with a discerning eye. This guy had pretty good instincts. Did he figure out we were cheating? Let's stop this. Akasaka-kun is a step or 2 ahead of us. Fool! You think you can stop after we come this far? Next, make him draw it. The next tile Akasaka-kun would draw was a 7 pin. With that, it would be settled. No matter which one he discarded, he'd play right into the old man's hand. An unavoidable payout! When I drew my tile, I sneakily swapped Akasaka-san's... Crash. What? Akasaka-kun suddenly sneezed, collapsing the wall of tiles in front of him. Hey, what are you doing? Sorry, I accidentally knocked over the wall when I sneezed. There's a penalty for that, right? I'm the dealer, so 4,000 to everybody, or is the penalty my point sticks? It's a full strip! Complete climax! Yeah. Unable to hold back, I coughed. Akasaka-kun, knowing he was going to be cornered a second time and unable to escape, he took drastic measure of knocking over his own wall. You're good, boy. To get away from a full payout like that? Oshi-san, could you not bother putting me in such an obvious trap? If we were at Baba, this would have been the point where I flipped the table. No. Sorry. I underestimated you. For some reason, you're really good, aren't you? Answer me honestly. You got a lot of experience when you were younger, didn't you? I played quite a bit around Waseda and Takada no Baba. The place where I accustomed to going it had pretty high rates, and they chewed at me out. I made a woman who would become my wife pretty angry, so I washed my hands of it all. Raised the stakes too high? How much were you paying at that time? Depends on who I was playing with, but it was more expensive when I played in Kabukicho. The largest stakes I played were about 20 times the standard rate. 20 times? What kind of stakes are those? Did you have Yakuza at your table? Pro baseball players? What's this? Corrado? You buffoon! Where did you pull this professional from? I give up. Jeez. Boy, it's your win. I surrender. Thank you very much. It was an honor. Oh my. Akasaka-san, your personality really changes when you play. Why do you even have a day job? You'd have no problem living as a freelancer. To be a pro mahjong player, you need both talent and luck. I didn't have anything like that supporting me. Luck is luck. With somebody of your skill, I think you'd be able to make it pretty far. Normal luck doesn't cut it. Calling a con or 1 time out of 3, you can aim to win 1 extra draw with 4 Dora. That kind of luck. Akasaka-kun. If you can judge something like that, you're already bordering on the supernatural. No, there's plenty of people who can do it without cheating or superpowers. There was a person I met in Shujuku who would get Doras every time you blinked. He was as strong as a demon. There was a pro I played with in Yokohama who would draw the tile he needed immediately after calling Richi, like it was an everyday thing. I don't have that kind of luck. What type of folks were those? They weren't named Ryu or Satoshi by any chance. Well then, is this alright if I declare the overall winner then? Yeah. We totally lost. I lost. It's been a while since I lost this big. Still, when you were playing, boy, you were pretty into it. It was kind of scary. Yeah, I hear that a lot. I don't mean to change gears like that, though. Did I really look that scary? Yup. The 3 of them nodded empathetically in agreement. So that was Akasaka-kun, the mahjong prodigy. Before he goes home from his assignment, maybe I could have him go play a high-stakes table at my place. But it's not good to get greedy. Satoshi Doko? Yeah. Not the same Satoshi, I'm guessing. Well then, nothing for it. It was a promise. We'll break up our little late-night study group right now. Sorry about this, old man. That's it for tonight. Nothing you can do. I'm gonna go home and go to sleep. My body won't last like this. Problems at work? Oh. He's the foreman of the primary construction site at Hinamizawa Dam. He's butting heads with the residents every day. It's rough business. Around next year, I might be in charge of the second site as well. I heard that Kuroda-san was pissing blood. He won't hold out much longer. You'll be alright, old man. Your skull's thicker than it looks. I'm not exactly a saint, you know. There's times that just make my blood boil. Especially can't stand dealing with that bratty daughter of the Sonozakis. I think it's one of these days I'm gonna rearrange her face. No. At least the pay is good, yeah? I heard the wages were pretty exorbitant. Of course they are. If the pay was cheap, nobody would hang around this god-awful job. Hey, Corrado. Exactly when the police gonna tell all the villagers to shove off? There'll be a notice of evacuation from the government, right? Maybe. I wonder when that'll happen. The old man who identified himself as the foreman of the Hinamizawa Dam spewed a few complaints until he felt better about it, and left quietly. Well then, let's go. I'll leave the rest to Sato-san. Oh boy. Oi. Oshi-san, are you going home? If I'm here, I'll just be in the way, won't I? Besides, the one who brought Sato-san's services was you. Oops, clicked out of the game. I didn't pay for my share. Oshi-san was a kind of sketchy, but he was strangely conscientious about some things. Everything okay? You all good? Oh yeah, sorry, my throat just kind of fucked up a little bit. We're good. Oshi's generation, from that part of him, I didn't comprehend. Then boy? No, I can't call Mr. Mahjong here boy no more. It's Akasaka-kun. Alright with you? Yeah. Drink some water, please. I have a Sprite. Then, Akasaka-kun, shall we go? Have you told it to start acting up? I didn't. No, you're right. I should beat it. Should push its shit in so it knows better. Good enough, I guess. Yeah. Well then, Akasaka-san. Later. If you're having any trouble, you can count on me anytime. I don't have any more money to pay you, you know. You can just give back a little of what I lost tonight. Oshi, seemingly still not having had his full of playing around, but without overstaying his welcome, disappeared into the night. Push your what in now? You know, it's like when you, instead of saying beat it up, you say I'm gonna push its shit in. Ugh. The informant named Sato-san had me get into his car before we set off. He favored narrow roads and made numerous short left turns, checking if we're being followed. Yeah, you know a lot about this. Checking to see if you're being tailed by making left turns was a rather classic technique. If it was just a single pursuer, you could confirm it that way. But if you were being tailed as a team, this archaic method wouldn't let you shake them. Sprite. Thripe. That better be McDonald's Sprite, my god. I wish it was McDonald's Sprite. It's just regular Sprite. McDonald's Sprite. Oh, why is it spicy? Of course, doing it anyway was better than not. I didn't hear anything from the boss who you are, Akasaka-kun. Related to the police? If you're familiar for checking and being tailed, the only other possibility I can think of is something like a private detective. If it's not something I have to say, I'd like to refuse to answer that question. My. Ever since we played Mahjong, you seem a lot more mature. I wonder where this hesitant person went from when we first met. I smiled weirdly. Looking back now, I had to be a little grateful for being made to play Mahjong. Thanks to that, I was able to relieve some tension. What's the difference between normal and McDonald's? It just hits different, bro. Vibes, mostly. You got me wondering that. Wait, have neither of you did that? You got into McDonald's Sprite? It tastes different. It's just, it fucks you up a little bit more. You've tried? Then you know. They're different. McDonald's Sprite is spicy. Eventually, Sato-san, confirming that we were no cars following us, slipped outside the city. I didn't know. Well, now you know. Hello? Hello? Now you know. You've been brought this knowledge by Bluma. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm an American. We were on a pitch-black country road, unable to see anything besides the lights outside. The only things I was able to hear were the hum of the car's air... Oh my god, I'm losing the ability to read. It was the car's air conditioning and the chirping of the insects and frogs. I heard from the boss that you want to hear a bit about Hinamizawa Village, yeah? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba, corporate sponsorship, right? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I could say I loved it if you paid me, McDonald's. Bye. Like about the old houses known as the Three Families who controlled the place. Or that right now it's pretty much the Sonozaki family running the things. If you know that much already, I'll cut out the introductions. Then if you would, can you confirm or deny if the Onikakushi Defense Alliance is involved with the kidnapping of the Minister's Inogai's grandson? Sato-san checked the rearview mirror one more time to confirm there wasn't anybody behind us before speaking. Last night, the Sonozaki main house held a family council. Did you hear about it from boss? No. If it was a normal meeting, then it would have just been all the relatives coming together over a nice cup of tea or something. But a family council held by the main house isn't quite so relaxed. A family council held by the Sonozaki main house. That would be a meeting between those who truly controlled Hinamizawa Village. They wouldn't be talking about private family matters. It would be about the village as a whole. About organizing activities against the dam project. Among other things. Everything would be decided in there. In reality, they were deciding the fate of the village. For some reason, I felt the food... hold on. For some reason, I felt the food so much delicious. I love spicy food. So if we ever go eat together, you won't like it. It's true. I can't handle spice. At the head of the meeting was Oryo Sonozaki, more or less called Empress Sonozaki. As the ultimate decision maker of the clan, she was... Oh my god, I went too hard in the Mahjong game. I've lost everything. Hold on, let me just... Having more Sprite. Here we go. More or less called Empress Sonozaki. As the ultimate decision maker of the clan, she was to be feared and respected. Infirm with old age, she was often unable to stand on her own, but her words carried enough weight to sway the fate of the village. It seemed that lately she had grown weak, and on days where she wasn't feeling well, remained bedridden. Family councils that occurred when she wasn't feeling well took place with her on the floor. In the middle of the dignified Japanese-style room, still in a futon, only the upper half of her body sitting upright, a stern look on her face. That was Oryo Sonozaki. Bluma plays 5 minutes of Mahjong and now she's lost the... in it. Oh, and maybe... Oh my god. Boil cinnamon, add honey, squeeze a lemon for some tea if your throat feels sore. Oh, thanks, Jose. I appreciate you. Her mind was already in the game. It's true. It's true. Sitting next to her was her heir, Mion Sonozaki. And it's... like, my throat doesn't hurt too bad. I don't know what it is. It must be... I don't know what it is, man. Like, I don't think I have dyslexia, but, like, when my brain gets super tired, I swear that, like, letters start switching places. But I think it's just because I'm tired. Maybe some stress? I don't know. Sitting next to her was her heir, Mion Sonozaki. She was still young. No, young wasn't quite the right word. She was a girl who remained childish. Her role was to merely sit beside Oryo Sonozaki, sometimes responding to her requests. However, she was the only one deemed worthy to succeed Oryo. She had the same hawkish eyes, enough to give pause to anybody who so much looked at them. Much was expected of her future. This granddaughter of the Sonozaki leader. You're tired. Need sleep. Yeah, probably. And also on either side of her sat several other important members of the remaining 3 families, the Kimiyoshi family and the Furude family. First on the list for the Kimiyoshi family was of course mayor of the Hinamizawa village, Kiichiro Kimiyoshi. And lined up beside him were several more of his direct relatives. Opposite sat the other 3 families, the Furude family. The Furude family was only comprised of the family of the Shinto priests. The only ones sitting there were his priest, his wife, and his daughter Rika. Rika was doted on by many older folks in the village, and seemed that Oryo was no exception. While the stress from attending the family council was said to be enough to shorten your lifespan by 3 days, it seemed like Rika was the only one exempt from that. No matter how charged the atmosphere was around her, she paid it no mind, instead humming along as she doodled in a sketchbook. In fact, the night before, lying on her stomach while humming and doodling, she nonchalantly tucked her legs into Oryo's futon, like it was a kotatsu. All this was the 3 families, and all around the room, lined row upon row, were relatives of the Sonozaki family. The only ones who afforded cushions to sit on were direct relatives. The others were left to sit in the senzai position directly on the tatami mats. With Empress Sonozaki enshrined at their center, they were almost like a giant snake coiled around the room. It was decided that everybody would sit in order of their rank. The number of people in the Sonozaki family was overwhelming. The fact that the Sonozaki family held so many seats at a meeting where everything permeating into the village was decided made determining where the balance of power is held by the 3 families as clear as day. The number of members in attendance from each family directly reflected how much influence they had ruling over Hinamizawa. What was talked about at the meeting? Sato-san, after remaining silent for a while, quietly began to speak. Wasn't our monetary gift of appreciation to the media a little large? Breaking the long a moment of silence was head of the Kimiyoshi family, Kichiro Kimiyoshi. The Onikakushi Defense Alliance wasn't a business. They were nothing more than a private organization pushing for the cancellation of the Hinamizawa Dam project with no reliable source of income. Fundraising had always been a problem. When they first started operating, they had managed to collect a sizable amount of funds through the donations, but as the conflict dragged on, the amount was steadily declining. This isn't an era where you can get away with what you want just by throwing rocks. It's very important you don't overestimate the power of the media, and we want to borrow some of that down the road. The expressions of the people related to the Sonozaki family were sullen. As the one who suggested that they should borrow the power of the family head Oryo Sonozaki, the battle wasn't just about force of arms. In this civilized age, there were civilized methods of fighting. Oryo suggested that, creating a strategy incorporating the mass media. Orio's foresight was spot on, and the effects of the plan, while at first unclear, slowly began to manifest. If the physical confrontation at the construction site was meant to delay progress by the dam by even one day, then the propaganda war using the media was aimed by attacking the dam project itself. At first, there were those who had doubts about the strategy, but there was nobody now who called those results into question. But in order to maintain those media ties, a colossal amount of money was required. As long as the amount of funds they had was abundant, things would turn out fine. It couldn't be argued that it was a massive expense, but the results spoke for themselves. But with the conflict continuing to drag on, the circumstances had changed. The head of the Sonozaki family, no, the one who sat at the pinnacle of Hinamizawa's three families, Oryo, had suggested the idea herself, so it was already untouchable and continued to be allowed to drain from the budget. Nobody acknowledged that it should be so allowed, but nobody could say anything. That was the price of dealing with the mass media. What do you think, Oryo-san? The only person who could object to the plan proposed by the head of the Sonozaki household herself was probably Mayor Kimiyoshi. Oryo, with a hard-to-define expression in her face, as if she had served herself from the feathers of mortal emotion, simply listened quietly to Kimiyoshi's words. But really, it was hard to tell if she was quietly listening, or didn't even have the intention of listening at all. Last year, we went through a lot of trouble getting people to wrap their heads around the price hike on the bulletins we were putting out. We convinced them that it was just one time. It just wouldn't do if there was another one this year. Right, Furude-san? The mayor looked to the priest and his wife, from the Furude family, for affirmation. The priest gave a vague expression, avoiding a prompt response, but his wife gave her answer without a second thought. That's right. The cost of the bulletins are a particularly harsh burden for the poorer families. Everybody is dealing with it for the sake of the village, but it's best we don't increase the prices anymore. The bulletin was, as its name implied, a bulletin published by the Onikakushi Defense Alliance. It outlined the Alliance's activities, ideals, and resolve, but you couldn't deny the contents were rather piecemeal. That bulletin's main goal wasn't to inform people, but rather was something to sell to a business and people living in the village connected to it, and using those sales collected funds. In other words, it had become something of a tax. Of course, it didn't have to be said that this was one of the main sources of income for the Onikakushi Defense Alliance. Originally, purchase was supposed to be voluntary, but in Hinamizawa, it had silently become the opposite. In the neighboring towns as well, it seemed that many businesses were buying copies just to avoid butting heads with the Alliance. The priest whispered to his wife to not say anything unnecessary, but was struck down decidedly with a cold glare. Cowering from that glare, the priest shut his mouth. The priest's wife always held power in the relationship. That was because she was the one who carried the Furude bloodline. The priest merely married into the family. He was nothing more than somebody who adopted the name just to join the three families. He should have been able to find a spot fairly high up in the hierarchy of things, but the lack of authority in his voice meant he had still not gained any favor. Casting a backwards glance at her rather disparate parents, Rika continued to doodle whimsically without paying them any mind. Signaled by the look of Oryo, Mion brought her ear closer to her grandmother. Something was said to her in a quiet voice. After responding with a couple questions, with a nod from Oreo, Mion looked around the room and conveyed her grandmother's words. There will be no freeze on the price increase for the bulletin. Kimiyoshi made a face, like he had just been bit into something unpleasant, but the expression quickly disappeared like it had never happened at all. Mion-chan, I think you already know this, but the cost of the bulletin is by no means easily affordable. It's a burden carried by everyone in Hinamizawa. If we make people carry too much of that burden, it's possible we'll collapse from the inside. And who on the inside would start that collapse? Who? No, I didn't mean it like that. I'm asking, who would be the first to buckle? Being cross-examined by a girl who still had fragments of childishness remaining in her, the words stuck Kimiyoshi's throat as he sunk into silence. Mion repeated her question once more, looking around the crowded room. Everybody refrained making eye contact and avoided being pierced by her. She had spoken were unarguably said in proxy for Oreo. That's why when Mion spoke them, they carried the same weight. But the look in her eyes was different. Like Oreo's, they had a hawkish gaze, strong enough that anybody looking upon them would freeze in their tracks and yield. But that gaze was without question one that belonged to Mion herself. As Mion would eventually inherit everything for Oreo, the day when she would stand up as a young and capable leader in her own right would come. Nobody wanted to believe otherwise for even a minute. That's why nobody even thought of Mion as just some sort of little kid. Kimiyoshi-san. Nobody will lose their resolve over something like a price hike on a bulletin. Kimiyoshi, while grumbling a little bit, made a gesture to say he had no objections. The expenses related to the mass media will continue. If those expenses become too much, we'll have no choice but to continue the price hikes. Mion had rendered her judgment. Everybody bowed their heads silently listening to her words. In the name of Mion Sonozaki, as acting head of the Sonozaki family, I hereby declare that all this shall be effective immediately. There shall be no objections, and any opposition shall be removed by force. The formal decree was read aloud, indicating her judgment. There would be no retrial, but there would be certain authority behind those words that even a courthouse couldn't compare to. She's already ready to kick ass, right? Nobody will buckle. Is that a statement or a command? Yes. Yes. If she was a judge, she would have banged her gavel, signaling that the matter was settled. Mion pulled out a large bell from inside her clothes and rang it. Everybody present could only prostrate themselves before the harsh sound of the bell. Well, that's a rather old-fashioned family council, isn't it? Young guy like you would probably find it hard to believe. In an antiqued place like this, these types of things have their firm roots. It was exactly like Oishi had said. The old system of the three families had vanished, and now the Sonozaki family was running things by themselves. On top of that, their rule was borderline despotic. Whatever. Was that the end of the meeting? No, there's more. I'll continue. Eventually, after a ringing of the bell ceased, there was a deafening silence. Within all of that, a lone man shuffled closer to Mion and whispered something in her ear. Mion asked several questions quietly in response. When she was satisfied, she motioned for the man to leave. The man who talked to Mion was a member of the gang that her father was the leader of. That organization had the entire area of Shishibone City under its control, so it was quite well known even here. Of course, this was talking about the criminal underworld, so it's not like just anybody would know. But just showing a patch with a gang symbol on it was enough to resolve any disputes in the neighborhood. Mion's biological father, to Oreo, was her daughter's husband. The power of that man's gang was driving force that controlled the dark underbelly of the Onikakushi Defense Alliance. And so that man, from his position at the next in line to control the three families, continued to coerce everybody around him with his unconventional presence. Mion exchanged a look with her father. Was it okay for her to tell what she had just heard directly to Oreo? It looked like she was asking him that question. Her father gently but firmly nodded in response. Mion also nodded, then sidled up to Oreo and informed her of something. Eventually, Mion finished conveying her message, separated herself from Oreo, and fixed her posture, waiting for Oreo to signal her response. It wasn't often that Oreo showed any emotion. That's why when she started to laugh quietly, a vague sense of uneasiness crept over everyone in the room. That's quite the conundrum, isn't it? Oreo was laughing so happily that Kimiyoshi had to hesitantly ask, "What is it, Oreo-san?" If this land is like a mother to us, then this business with the dam is like somebody threatening our mother's life, isn't it? Kimiyoshi, unable to comprehend the meaning of her words, looked confused. Oreo, with a wide grin on her face, turned towards everybody and addressed them with a clarion voice. The minister behind the dam project is apparently rattled over the kidnapping of his grandson. That makes us even. That's absurd. Information on the kidnapping of the minister and you guys' grandson? It shouldn't have leaked from anywhere. How did they know? Even when we didn't know that much about the kidnapping incident, exactly how did an antiqued household so far away from Tokyo come to know about it? It was a tranquil place, and I couldn't help but have an uneasy feeling about the Hinamizawa village. At some point, I had mentally filed this place away as an unrelated to the incident at hand. That mental paperweight had just been blown away in the wind. How did the Onikakushi Defense Alliance know about that? Sato-san, unable to come up with an answer, fell into silence. I'm sorry. Please continue. Sure. The Minister of Construction's grandson was kidnapped? Oreo-san, is that true? That major of an incident was nowhere to be seen on the newspapers or on TV. But in Hinamizawa, there was nothing strange about Oreo knowing something that the rest of the world didn't. Our pain is the pain of losing a mother. I don't think it completely makes up for it. But the pain of losing a grandchild? We'll have to bear with that for a bit. Don't you think? The last question wasn't addressed to anybody in particular. It was as if she was looking for a consensus. Still, land and a human child are different things. I don't mind hiding him here, but I want no harm to befall him. The child isn't to blame. Make sure you keep that in mind. That means that the Onikakushi Defense Alliance is involved in the kidnapping? Well, I can't say for certain. Why? Even though their leader, Oreo, was clearly giving orders to the treatment of the kidnapped child? Lad, you see, this is what the Sonozaki family does. Always does? What do you mean? Let's say there was a particular problem. One that wasn't exactly favorable for the Sonozaki family. If Oreo shows concern over that particular problem, hearing that, somebody who attended the family council would be helpful. As a result, Oreo's wish would be granted. However, neither Oreo or anybody else would know who actually did it. With this kind of clever little ploy, the Sonozaki family was able to manipulate events even though they had their hands laid out on the table. Then, that means that somebody who was at the family council was the culprit. Or, there's the possibility that there was never a culprit in the first place. Oreo herself, in that room full of people, didn't explicitly say that somebody pulled off the kidnapping. She was just giving her opinion. It was an odd and unpleasantly secretive way of doing things. Were they involved or weren't they? I couldn't see beyond the veil. This much, however, I could say with certainty. This kidnapping was an ironclad secret. No matter how high of a position somebody was in, even they wouldn't know about it. If there was somebody who would know about it, they would be connected directly to public safety. In other words, one of us. The only other options were people connected to the case itself. including the minister, there would be people affected by the incident, or the people that committed it. In any case, there was no way an old household in place removed from Tokyo by over 6 hours of highway travel should know about it. Them knowing it already was strange. My suspicions began to accumulate, like falling snow. That's as much of Oreo said in regards to the kidnapping. Hopefully, what you wanted to find out was in there. After this, it's up to you. I don't know what kind of work you're doing, but if you're going up against the Sonozaki family, you best prepare yourself. Oshi might be fearless, but even he's been attacked 2 or 3 times. He hasn't been wearing it lately, but at one point he was wearing a stab-proof vest while off duty. Oh? Thanks for the warning. I'll be careful. You speak pretty well. Are you from Tokyo by any chance? Huh? What's your point? Well, investigators were always close to danger. It was best to not divulge any information on my own. Your job. Could it be possibly that somebody from the Metropolitan Police Public Safety Division? I couldn't remain silent here. It would be the same thing as admitting it. Huh? No way. This wasn't accounted for the money I got from the boss. But as somebody who played at the same table today, I'll give you this one as a freebie. After Oreo talked about the kidnapping, there was one other topic that came up. Another topic that Oreo brought up. And right before he told me this, Sato-san asked if I was from the Metropolitan Public Safety Division. In other words, what those 2 things meant caused a chill to run up my spine. So you see, that in order to investigate the kidnapping of the minister's grandson, there's word that there will be an investigator from Public Safety dispatched here all the way from Tokyo. An investigator from Public Safety? That can't be reckless and made a big deal over the kidnapping. So it seems the Metropolitan Public Safety Division is investigating it on their own. Ain't that a grand? What is it? Riku, who had been drawing the entire time, was completely uninterested in the conversation up until now, looked up Oreo with an interested face as soon as the topic of public safety came up. Did the Metropolitan Police come? Oh, so Rika-chama knows about the Metropolitan Police Department. That's very admirable. Who came? Is there anybody that knows what kind of guy from the public safety came here? Mion's father raised his hand slightly. I hear it's a nice young piece of fresh meat. Fresh meat? Is it nice and tender? Yeah, it is. Fresh meat. Mion's father smiled wearily and answered Rika's question. Tender and tasty? Yeah, tender and tasty. Rika smiled with interest. Why did Rika suddenly act so interested only when it came to this topic? That was a question that apparently nobody had the answer to. Does Rika-chama know something about this man? I don't know. After her rather flat reply, Rika buried herself underneath Oreo's futon again. But when she buried herself there, Rika no longer started drawing again. Instead, she was making an expression like she was deep in contemplation. What shall we do about him, Mother? Mion's father posed the question. He had the type of uncouth expression on his face indicating that, given the order, he could snuff out the problem at any time. He came all the way to Hinamizawa. Let him take it easy for a little while. You're saying to just let him go around as he pleases? Mion's father asked in response. Aryo smiled thinly as she responded. Leave him alone. But if he starts causing too much mischief, when that happens, don't hold back. I don't enjoy being taken lightly. Is what they talked about, apparently. I couldn't be that you're fresh meat from the Metropolitan Police, are you? Couldn't be me. Ha 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 ha. The sensation of a cold, bristling fear began to crawl its way back up my back. This family council took place last night. In other words, yesterday. Then today, when I was dressed up as a tourist heading towards Hinamizawa, my cover was already blown? When I remembered the first person I met when I got off the bus stop, I couldn't breathe. The person at the family council who expressed interest in the man being dispatched from the Metropolitan Police, Rika Furude. And then the person who was waiting for me the whole time at the bus shelter, Rika Furude. It was an unthinkable image. No, it was a delusion. When we met at that bus shelter, did Rika-chan already know my true identity? Did she know that I was Akasaka, dispatched from the Metropolitan Police Department, and had come to meet me? Then, including Mayor Kimiyoshi, every villager that I met, everyone knew. They just pretended not to. Because Oreo had given instructions not to interfere. Thinking about it logically, it didn't seem impossible. I met quite a number of people. If there's people that are good at acting, then there's people who are bad at hiding things. If there was that many people, there should have been somebody among them who I knew was from public safety and couldn't hide their hostility. However, I didn't feel any presence at all like that. Should have just quit when he had the chance. He was specifically told to leave. You're right, Muffin. They did in fact say, like, get the fuck out. But then, even still, why did Oreo tell them to leave me alone? Was it because if they were careless about it, it would only raise more suspicion? Or was it because they believed a rookie like me wouldn't be able to find anything? Akasaka is a coward. I recalled the strange voice but could only make me believe that Rika-chan had been possessed. That unknown entity, no matter how you looked at it, knew my true identity from the get-go. And then, how did it warn me again? That's right. It warned me to hurry and go back to Tokyo. Instead of the realistic worry, the onikakushi defense lines had discovered my identity. The absurd worry brought on by my unknown girl struck me even more. What exactly was that girl? What was the thing that I would eventually forget? That mysterious girl. Rika Furude. Let's stop this. Everything I was thinking of right now was merely conjecture. Tomorrow, first thing in the morning, I'll report everything I heard right now to HQ and await further orders. There was no mistaking that the possibility the onikakushi defense lines were related to this case was there. And that the fact that my cover was blown meant I was in a precarious position. But as everybody at HQ was already extremely busy, they might not be able to spare the support. Is that everything? If you want, I can drop you off wherever you like. Sorry. In that case, the station where we originally met, please. A rural road where even a streetlight was rare. I couldn't see anything. I wasn't aware of anything but the asphalt that was lit up by the headlights. Outside of that light, was it simply darkness? Or was there something lurking there, waiting to strike? I had to think I drew the short straw here. I wanted to go back to Tokyo. For some reason, the voice of the girl warning me to go back to Tokyo still lingered in my head. Yo. Another chapter done, guys. Yo. Chapter 3 done. Let's go. How we feeling? The end. How we feeling? Oh. Pachi Pachi. Oh my god, Muffin, stop. This is not the Oshi arc. No. That was short? Yeah. These ones feel a little shorter. I might try and maybe do another chapter at some point this week. Just so we can kind of get through it a little faster if they are going to be this short, you know? But yeah. I am only going to read one chapter tonight. Oh boy. It okay? Okay, good. What? What do you mean, what? I'm shook. What? What do you mean? Get some sleep? I might actually go to bed, even though it's like 8 o'clock. I feel so tired. I refuse to believe this isn't the Oshare. Oh my god. It feels so small. It does. Don't say might. You should. I might. I do want to edit and work on a few more things. Like, the True King lore stream is really close to being done. So look forward to that. I don't know if we'll stream tomorrow. We might stream tomorrow. Or we might not. I'm so sorry. Go to sleep. It's fine. I'll get there. Get some rest? I will. You have plenty of rest? I will. We'll get there. It's fine. If you're not really feeling well, go sleep. It's fine. I always kind of feel rough, you know? Shit happens, bro. Shit happens, bro. Yeah, sorry. I'm not sure if we'll stream tomorrow. If we don't stream tomorrow, I'll try and stream, like, on Wednesday or Thursday. Hopefully Friday night for sure. Do I know what we're doing any of those nights? No idea. But, you know, drink a fluid, get a nappy. Yeah. So, yeah. I'll try and have the waiting rooms up a few days in advance, no matter what we do. Even if it's... Because I don't think we'll stream tomorrow, honestly. It might be Wednesday or Thursday. Friday night for sure. Saturday, of course, Elden Ring. We'll see from there, yeah? Okay, good. Good. Yeah, sorry. I wish we were doing a little more, what is it? Consistency, but I'm sorry. Outer Wilds confirmed. We have not done Outer Wilds in a while. You were right. It's true. You gonna bring the maid outfit? Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah. I considered an art stream, but I don't know. Maybe we'll just do another Higurashi chapter. Maybe. We'll see. Yeah, I guess that's all for tonight, guys. Thanks so much for coming and hanging out for book club. I appreciate you. I'm glad we're all enjoying Higurashi as always. Alright, guys. If I don't see you in the next one, I'll see you when I see you, okay? You have a good night, a good evening, and bye-bye.